はい、皆さんこんにちは、コバルトです。今回もアウターワールドやっていきたいと思います。多分今回が最終回になるんじゃないかなと思ってます。タルタロスにね、着いたので、ここから、アカンデさんを助けに行きます。はい、行きましょう。この人たちにはバレないようになっているので、こっちじゃなかった。
Whoa, hold on. Where'd you come from? You from solitary?
ですね、こうやってなんていうんだ、こう威圧とか説得のスキルを使うことによって回避することができます。はい。
Whoa. What was it like out there?
地獄さ。
Damn.
Thank you。 よいしょ。びっくりするわ。よしよしよし、2人とも頼むぞ。あ、言うの忘れてたんですけど、一回ね、ここをやったんですけど、僕途中行って、ボス手前です、どうしても突破できなかったので、ちょっとレベルをね、アカウントっていうかキャラを作り直して一からやり直してここまで来ました。レベルをねきっちり上げてきましたので、今回はいけるはずだ。おお、走るぞい。おお、走るんだ。あ、こっちじゃない。ここから登る。よいしょ。走るんだ。
Whoa, hold on.
怒られますよね。同じっす。
Hey.
Thank you。
Fine, go.
怖いんでね、もうさっさと行きましょう。戦闘をなるべく回避できればいいですね。こっからが僕突破できなかったんですよね。はい。で、ここまで来ましたと。こっちじゃないわ。こっち。今のとこバレてないぞ。あそこまで走る。走れー。ギリギリ間に合わないパターンかな。
Whoa, hold on.
おお、何回お前と喋るんだ。
What?
地獄だよ。
Damn.
Thank you。 OK。 ガチャガチャーっと上がって、よし、左側から。おお、グラハムが助けに来てくれた。すごい、助けに来てくれてる。今まで助けた人たちが。あ、ですね、攻撃食らってるんで早くしてもらえますか。助けてー。撃て撃て、みんなやるんだ。やばいっす。敵攻め込んできましたよ。皆さん向こう行った方がいいんじゃないですか。
Hey, I saw that. Something ain't quite right about
下からすいません。はい、
that.
こんにちは。よし、最後だ。あ、こっちじゃなかった。よいしょ、向こうだった。よいしょ、助けに来てくれてるからドアの封鎖を解除する。よし、ここまで来れた。よし、もうなんだここは。やべえな。こっからは知らないぞ。なんかめっちゃ戦った跡があるね。一応なんか反乱、ここは刑務所なんですけど、刑務所で反乱が起きて、なんか今囚人たちがたくさんね、ああやって反乱を起こしてるみたいな。よし、乗りまーす。めっちゃ戦ってくれてる。よし、ピット入り口まで、ピット出口かまで走るぞ。
Then I'm gonna piss in it.
Bill, you're not shooting the chairman, and you're not pissing in his
Whoa, hold on.
その話をしたくないんす。
Look, do yourself.
センキュー。おお、ごめんなさいね。オッケー。よし。こっからよし、フィニアスのところまで行きましょう。まあ、フィニアスを裏切ったんだね、前回。まさかの裏切りでしたが。よし。おう。これはおう。
I could have sworn I tested you for hearing loss because I did say skip the hope to Terra 2. Terra 2, not Tartarus.
ですね。まあそうですね。
We could have saved this colony, you know. That was always the plan. I revive you, you do as I say. I tell you to go there, get me this, shoot that, and you do as I say. If you just listened to me, we could have rescued everyone on the Hope. We could have been the saviors of Halcyon. But you didn't listen. No one in this damn
あ、右
colony
下に
ever
アカンデ
listened.
が捕まってるな。フィニアス、一体ここで何をしてるんだ。お前は捕らえられたはずだけど、悔い改めるべきだ。
Fighting back.
反
I've
撃
released every prisoner in Tartarus. We'll take this prison over or die in the attempt. We will not go quietly into the night. I'm wise to you and your silver tongue. You may have talked your way into the board's good graces, but I'm not about to fall for your rhetorical savvy.
アカンデ、
I don't
縛
care
ら
how
れて
many
るのか。
guns you've brought. If you try and stop me, by law, I'll bloody your damn nose.
降参するんだ。あんたはもう負けたんだ。
I haven't lost yet. I've still got air in my lungs. I've got strength enough to fire a gun, and I've got Halcyon's greatest monster strapped to a chair.
だね、アカンデが
Adjutant
捕まっ
Akande
て
is
る。
my captive. If I'm to die here, then she's coming with me.
この野郎。そんなことするんじゃない。アカンデを殺しても何も変わらないぞ。
No, it won't change anything. We're plunging headlong into oblivion now, you and I. Killing Akande won't save us, but it will feel incredibly good. If you insist on interfering, I will be forced to kill you, and I don't want that.
そうか。残念だよ、フィニアス。
So am I. I've programmed the labyrinth's mechanical warden to kill you on sight. I'm sorry to have to do this, but I can't take any
Robot?
chances with you. You were my greatest success, and my greatest disappointment.
言ってくれるな。なんかロボットがうんたらかんたらついたな。何ロボットが出てくるのボス。俺ここは知らないんだよな。初めて行くから。よし。ここ閉まってるね。おい、あれタイタンじゃねえか。おい、タイタンだろあれ。いってこの野郎。この野郎。痛い。早くして。暗い暗い暗い暗い。暗い暗い暗い。あの後ろから弱点だろどうせ。おお危ない。ほらリロード。強くねえかこいつ。入ってくるんだけどリロードしてリロード。あーっと周りのドローンもうざすぎるんだよ。オッケーいけ。硬すぎだろ もうちょっと。うわ危ねえ、危ねえ、死ぬところ。オッケーオッケー。あ、どこだラム、どこ行きやがった。こうしてオッケー、今がチャンス。オッケー、倒したお前強すぎだ。何冷凍トミースの鍵。いや強すぎだわ。超俺頑張ってレベル上げしてきたのに、前回と比べると多分何レベルぐらい上がってんのかな、わかんないけど。ここか。オッケー。倒した。強かった強すぎだよ。おやばすぎた。ここはどこだ。すごい施設だな。お、そこフィニアス。よし、この野郎。あっさりだったな。おいフィニアス議長の鍵大丈夫か。わかんない。あかんだよこれ。ガラスあんのかこれ。ほい。おわ巻いた。
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. You were right to put him down. He was too far gone to be of any use to us. And what about you? You aren't hurt, I hope.
死にかけましたけどやめてくれよ、汗もかかなかったのに。てかあんたを助けようとして死ぬところだったよ。
You're a model soldier and a credit to your profession. I appreciate everything you've done. You've put down the worst riot in our history, rid the colony of a dangerous madman, and saved my life. The board owes you a tremendous debt. We don't have a moment to lose. We're gonna have to work together to save Halcyon, because the situation is far worse than you imagined.
なるほど。本当に時間を無駄にしてる。何があったのか教えてくれ。
We've lost all contact with Earth. It's been 3 years since we received a message. We've had no contact, no signals, nothing. Earth has gone dark.
嘘。
2 years ago, the Earth Directorate's frigate disappeared en route to Earth. We don't know if they ever made it. We don't know if there's an Earth to go back to.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth was more than just some distant colonial authority, Dr. Fenhill. Earth was our lifeline. And now, we've been cut loose. We're alone, Captain. That's all I know for certain. Whatever happens to this colony, we're going to have to deal with it on our
も
own.
う地球ない無理なんだね。
Returning
地
to
球に
Earth
戻
is
るのは。
not an
なるほど
option.
ね。じゃあこの先の道のりは長いぞと。これま
Yes,
だ終
we
わん
do
ない
have a
感じ
long
か。
road ahead of us. But I have faith in you. The service you've done for this colony is nothing short of extraordinary. You're the reason I'm still standing here today. The board will survive because of you. And as the board goes, so goes Halcyon. It's time we carried out the program.
ほう。
I trust I can count on your support, Captain.
やりたいことはただ一つ。 B さんチームで思い切りはしゃぎ回ることだ。
You've kept your end of our bargain. And so I shall be true
お
to
お
mine.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain. You're going to be the wealthiest citizen of Byzantium.
Thank you.
Colony may collapse around us,
お
but I will see to it that
そうなんだ
Byzantium
ね。コロニーは
survives.
崩壊するけど、
Byzantium
心臓
must
部であるビ
always
ザンチウム
survive.
を守るっていうのがこの人の考えだからな。
Earth isn't coming to save us,
そうだね。も
so
う
we're going to have to save
我々が
ourselves.
立ち直していく必要があると。なるほど。
The OSI teaches that everything
The
in the universe
アウタ
happens
ー
according
ワー
to
ル
the
ドという
grand
トロフィーゲッ
plan.
トしましたね。
But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the board asserted their control over the colony. The lifetime employment program began immediately, and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the Hope and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the workers of Halcyon surrendered themselves to the program. They arrived with their families and their friends, their colleagues and their neighbors, and then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium remained, a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. With the board shuttering many of its smaller townships, Graham was never able to spread his ideals to Byzantium. On Monarch, however, the iconoclast movement swelled, forming the colony's hotbed of philosophical thought and freedom, a consistent counterpoint to the board's capitalist regime. Or so they viewed themselves, at least. The Byzantium elite find it endearing that those anarchistic hoopleheads are still allowed to breathe halcyon air. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took sublight salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if a replacement could keep the sublight family together.
リリア消されたぞなんか。
Edgewater's cannery met its production quota for the first time in 3 years.
お
As a
ー
result, the adjutant rewarded every worker in Edgewater with a place in the lifetime
う
employment
わ
program.
リーノ・トムソンも250年
Was
凍らされ
granted
てるぞ
25 years in suspended animation.
これ事故なんだろう
However,
な
a
これ
computing error adjusted his duration
あ
to
あ
250 years.
これバッドエン
A
ドじゃないか
trouble
大丈
ticket
夫
to
か
resolve this error remains open. Junlei Tennyson struggled to maintain the Groundbreaker's independence. Mechanical failures forced her to make increasingly uncomfortable compromises to stabilize her ship. The board bought her out of the Groundbreaker one deck at a time.
グランドブレーカーは評議会の管轄
Her
外だっ
role
たけ
as
ど
captain became
買
a
収されちゃったんだ
symbolic
ね
one. As smaller settlements were swallowed up and their workers drafted into the lifetime employment program, Byzantium continued to thrive. While its citizens lived in decadence and extravagance, a small cadre of scientists worked to solve the nutrition crisis that threatened Halcyon. No one else much noticed the townships that disappeared from the map, or the luxuries that slowly lost their luster year by year. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need
あ
other
この子
people.
はあれですね僕が作り直した時に出会
With
った
a
子なの
steady
でちょ
income
っ
from the
と
life
本
insurance
編では
payout,
ね今まで
she was
前
finally able to
回までは
afford
多
a
分い
ship
なかった
of
と
her
思うん
own.
ですけど
She hired a small
キャラ
crew
を作り変えた
and
らね
flew
なんか
supply
たまた
missions
ま
to communities on
なん
the
かいた
fringe.
ので仲間にし
Some
まし
of
た
them were even
お医者さんの
legal.
子ですねこの子は
As the board reasserted control
フェ
over
リックスはい
Halcyon,
ましたね
Felix came to realize that his life as an upstart rebel had come to an end. The board's victory crushed any hope for a grand revolution across Halcyon. And so Felix, once again, found himself without a purpose in life. And so, disillusioned with his former boss and with nowhere left to go, Felix left his crew without saying
フェ
goodbye.
リックスどっか行っちゃっ
He
た
was never heard from again.
マジか
As a reward for his part in her courageous rescue, the adjutant invited the vicar known as Max to become one of the leaders of the Order of
あそう
Scientific
この牧師
Inquiry.
さんも
Max eventually rose to the
仲間に
top,
できたのでまさか
becoming
の
the presiding
仲間にしと
bishop
きま
of
し
the
た
OSI. He denounced his spiritual meanderings as a misguided attempt to come to terms with his long-dead parents. His only regret was that they had not lived long enough to see that he was right all along. Though part Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. As the board began to roll out their lifetime employment program, Parvati was plagued by dreams of freezing to death. She began taking increasingly longer shore leave, and she eventually disappeared from the Unreliable
パルバにもどっか行っ
entirely.
ちゃった。
The board never knew what became of her, and under the adjutant's orders, they never tried to find out. Parvati was afforded a measure of peace and left to her own devices. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another
あ
crack at、
ニョカ
making a
はもう
permanent
モナーク
life
に戻
for
ったんだ
herself.
ね。
She
よ
formed
かっ
the
たよかっ
Terran
た。
Group,
それはまあいい
a
でしょう。
mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a
お
boost in
お、サ
SAM
ム
unit
型は売れ
sales.
るようになったんだね。
Did you know that SAM units are the longest lasting, toughest acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest,
あ、
and his
クラー
contact
ク大
with
臣
you
も
gave
監
him
禁
a
されて
sense
た
of
けど
renewed purpose
解放
and
された
vigor.
んだね。よかったよか
Once
っ
it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Adjutant Sophia Akunde was instrumental in executing the lifetime employment program.
た。うん。
She was true to her word and rewarded her most reliable freelancer by
Oh.
making him the wealthiest citizen in Byzantium. With Halcyon's workers suspended in a state of hibernation, starvation and chaos are problems of the past.
うん。
The lifetime employment program succeeded in its goals, but that success came at a price. The Halcyon of today is nothing at all like the colony of yesteryear. Power remains concentrated in Byzantium, but all the colony's resources serve the lifestyle of the elite,
結局そうなっちゃった
thereby
んだよね。
transforming Halcyon into one of the smallest and most exclusive colonies in the system.
そう。
And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? After the fighting in Tartarus came to an end, you returned to Byzantium in triumph. As a reward for your service in saving the colony, you lived until the end of your days in luxury, the likes of which Byzantium had never seen. Your estate was the envy of the city, and your revelries were things of legend. With all the wealth of the colony concentrated in Byzantium, you wanted for nothing until the end of your
まあ
days.
最後まで何も
No
なかっ
one
たんだ
knows
ね。
what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this. The name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
はい。はい。ということで、The Outer World クリアでございます。いや、なんかちょっとバッドエンドっぽかったけど。まあいいか。いや、でもね、非常に、なんだろう、オープンワールド RPG で非常に、なんて言うんだろう、自由度の高いゲームだったんですけど、非常に面白かったなと思います。多分僕がこうやって遊んだのは、本当に、一部の、ルートというか、まあ、いくつもルートがある、いくつもエンディングがある中の一つを、やったので、多分皆さんがプレイされると、全然違う形になると思います。僕は今回最後ね、フェニアスを裏切りましたけど、フェニアスを最後まで信じれば、多分また違ったエンディングになりますし、その他にも、途中でね、パルバディを仲間にしないルートだったりとか、ニョカを仲間にしないルートだったりとか、いろんなね、ルートがあると思うので、あとサブクエストとかもかなり僕はレベル上げのためにやりました。なんで、その辺も含めて、サブクエストも、言ったら動画として上がってない部分とかもたくさんあるので、 自分なりでね探してやってみると面白いんじゃないかなと思います。なんでねRPG 好きな方は、FPS が苦手じゃなくて RPG が好きな方はアウターワールドおすすめできる作品になるんじゃないかなと思います。はいまとまりねえなということでね、またの配信動画でお会いしましょう。さよなら。